Okay, so I have researched the internet literally all day, well, starting from like 10 a.m. It is now 4:37. On how to speed up Windows through clean, like non-registry editing or overclocking methods. I simply want to tweak the system by adjusting settings and deleting apps, freeing up memory, like I said, in clean ways without adjusting things too much. And by clean, I mean not impacting the system. However, I will be dialing back on graphics and stuff like that. If that's not really your thing, I don't recommend this video to you. But if you're looking to game at like top-notch performance, that's what I'm seeking here. So that's what we're going to experiment with today. So I'm going to go through all the things that I found in the list that I've made, and hopefully it helps you guys out, and hopefully it helps me out. Okay, so I will be taking the webcam off just so we can see the screen completely, and let's just get started. Let's get right into it. The first thing we're going to do is delete any programs that we don't need. And there's two methods to do this, and we're going to go through both of them just because I'm a little OCD. So you're going to go to your Cortana, your search bar, go to Control Panel, go to Uninstall Program, find whatever programs within here that you don't need, okay? Okay, once you've got that figured out, there's a second part to it. So if you go to Apps, or you go to the search bar and you type in Apps and then go to Apps and Features. There's going to be, go ahead and click Enter, and then there's going to be a bunch of apps here that obviously very similar to the uninstall feature that we just went to. However, there's going to be some extra ones in here, like well, you can't uninstall maps, but I was able to find like games like Candy Crush and stuff like that. Microsoft Wi-Fi, I'm on a desktop that will never use Wi-Fi, so we can uninstall that. Just stuff like that. So I would definitely go through this list. OneNote, have no idea what it is, probably will never use it. I'm gonna get rid of it. Can't get rid of that, unfortunately. Skype, I don't use Skype, get rid of it. So just go through this list, get rid of anything that you don't need. All right, so the next step is to remove any startup programs that we don't need. All you gotta do is come to the little circle here, it's the search bar. Go ahead and type in startup, click Enter, and then from here you can enable or disable any programs that you do or don't need. Alright, once that's all set and done, the next thing we can do is go to our files folder and go through and delete any files that are that you don't need. Maybe old pictures, old videos, stuff like that. Okay, and then the next step is to run CCleaner. If you don't already have this installed on your computer, you may not. At one point or another, you'll run across it on the internet. It's basically disk cleaner on steroids. I do recommend you download it. It looks like we're gonna have to download it ourselves here to update it. However, it'll clean out any temporary files, any junk. So again, I'll post a link of it in the description. Go ahead and download it. It is safe of viruses and stuff like that. I really recommend it. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and run it here. I'm gonna go ahead and full screen it so you guys can see it. So the first thing you want to do is you can go to Windows or Applications, really doesn't matter. Just go ahead and click Analyze. Also, if there's extra things that you want to go through, that's fine. I'm just gonna leave it to the default settings because it covers most of the things that we need. So you click Analyze, and it looks like I've got 4,746 megabytes that I can remove. I can go ahead and run the cleaner, continue, and it's gonna get rid of a bunch of junk for us. Okay, and since we're kind of cleaning up house right now, what we want to do is go to the search bar, go ahead and type in run, and then type in temp, and then delete any files here. And then sometimes it'll say like, oh, can't delete this file, stuff like that. And then it's fine, just go ahead and click skip on them. And then you're gonna want to go to search bar, type run again, and then this time you're gonna click percentage, temp, and then percentage again. Go ahead and click OK. And you can go ahead and delete all of these as well. See, this is what I was talking about. So go ahead and click skip on those. That's a-okay. All right, and since we just got rid of a bunch of stuff, don't forget to go to your recycle bin and go ahead and delete all that stuff that you just deleted from, you know, other folders or allocations. That way it is completely deleted off your computer. Okay, so this next step is going to be to defragment our hard drives. However, if you have a solid state drive, of course you won't be doing this, but you still want to pay attention here. So if you do have a hard drive, what you want to do is click optimize on it and let it go ahead and run its course. What it does is it reallocates some files in the system so they're easier to access and stuff like that. If you have a solid state drive, you're going to want to go to scheduled optimization, click change settings, and uncheck the run on a schedule. That way it never tries to, you know, defragment your solid state drive. Okay, so now that we've got all our memory and programs in line, we're going to start going through Windows settings that will optimize performance for us, okay? All right, so this next part is going to be a little long. However, we're going to turn off a bunch of background apps that Windows uses. So you're going to want to go to the Windows Start button, go to Settings, go to Privacy, and we'll start off with General. So let apps use advertising ID, yeah, no. Let websites provide locally relevant, no. Let Windows track app launches to improve start and search, no. Show me suggested content and settings app, no. So we're gonna have all of these off right here. Okay, so the next part of this is gonna be diagnostics and feedback. So you're gonna wanna go to basic. So it's asking you whether you wanna like send them diagnostic data and all that stuff. Like I said, go to basic. Improve inking and typing recognition, go ahead and turn that off. Tailored experiences, please turn it off. Go ahead and delete. So we are all set there. Okay, so this next part is going to be activity history. However, it does show my email on there, and I don't really want you guys having it, so I'm not going to click it. I turned off the two top portions of it just to let you guys know. Location for this device is off. It's probably on by default for you. I had already turned it off at one point or another, so we're gonna go ahead and keep it off. So we've just got done with location. Now camera. Allow apps to access your camera. If you allow access, you can choose which apps can access your camera. Okay, so which apps do I want to access it? No, 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 no. Like, why would Microsoft Store need to access my camera? Whatever, I don't care. We're just gonna turn them all off. Camera off. Microsoft Edge off. Microsoft Photos, the store, don't need that. Voice recorder, no thank you. Xbox. Okay, this next one, notifications. Let apps access my notifications, no thank you. Account info. Allow access from these, no thank you. Okay, the next one is contacts. Allow apps to access your contacts, no thank you. Calendar, allow apps to access your calendar, no thank you. Call history, allow apps to access your call history, no thank you. Email, allow apps to access your email, no thank you. Tasks, allow apps to access. I mean, you guys get the gist of this at this point, right? Like, no thank you. This is insane. Like, who needs all this stuff? They should let you manually install this stuff after, you know, you get the operating system. It adds so much bloat to it. It's insane. Let your apps automatically share and sync info with wireless devices, no thank you. Background apps. Okay, so this is the next part. Okay, so you do want to go through this list. You know, alarms and clock, calculator, all these things. I don't need any of them personally to run in the background for me. And you know, it does make things quicker since they're already running when you want to click on them and decide to use them. However, we're going to go ahead and turn them all off because we are trying to optimize our computer for gaming. I mean, take that into consideration. All these programs are running in the background. Okay, and let apps access diagnostic information, no thank you. Documents, allow access to your documents library. No, thank you. That's already off. Great. Videos, allow apps to access your videos library. No, thank you. And allow apps to access your file system. No, thank you. So we're just going to go ahead and turn most of that stuff off. Okay, so for this next part, we are going to be turning off some notifications. So we're going to go to the Start menu, go to the little settings thing, go to System, go ahead and go to Notifications and Actions, and show notifications on the lock screen. No, thank you. Show reminders of incoming VoIP calls. I don't use that. From apps and other senders. No, thank you. So we're turning off any you know, Discord or Cortana or autoplay or alarms and clocks and stuff like that. Personally, I don't use my computer for anything like this. You know, if I need a timer or anything, I simply pick up my phone and use that. So I'm gonna go ahead and disable all of this just to go ahead and try and get the best performance I can. So, I mean, this part is optional. Some of you may not feel comfortable doing it simply because you care about your sound too much. Personally, I don't care. A lot of people focus on visual performance. Sound also does take some processing power. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna go to this little arrow here, and it's gonna pull up our menus. Yours might already be up. I'm gonna right click on the little microphone, go to Sounds, and from here I'll have my playback devices. So my default one is my HyperX Alphas, of course. So I'm going to go to the right click it and go to Properties. From there I'll go to Advanced, and I'm going to turn it all the way down to 16-bit, whatever that is, 44,100 hertz. And I'm going to uncheck this allow applications to take exclusive controls of this device. That way it's always at the absolute lowest quality and it's taking up the least amount of processing power. And I'm going to go ahead and do that for the microphone. And you guys will be able to see if you notice a difference in sound quality. And also I unchecked that there, right? Okay, and one more tip. If you go back to the playback and go to your headphones, whatever they may be, I do recommend to have all enhancements off. So disable all sound effects. Sometimes some of these are on and it'll try to give you some sort of like virtualization or, you know, stuff like that. With stereo headphones, you really don't want that. So go ahead and disable all sound effects. Okay, so this next part is going to be to edit our power plan. So what you're going to want to do is go to the search bar, type in Control Panel, click Enter, go to Hardware and Sound, and then go to Power Options, and go ahead and set the high performance. It could affect your electric bill a little bit. However, I am going to go ahead and leave it on high performance for myself. It should be on balance by default. If you are worried about the electricity, go ahead and leave it on balance. And then from here, one more thing we're going to want to do is go to Change Plan Settings, and then go to Advanced Power Options, and under the hard disk little tab here, go ahead and turn off hard disk after 0 minutes. And then for this next part, what we're going to do, we're going to go to the search bar, go to Advanced, it's going to say View Advanced System Settings here, or you can search it, of course. So the first part is going to be Performance. Okay, so go to Settings. We're going to start with Advanced. Make sure it's clicked for Adjust for best performance of programs. Okay. Visual Effects, go to Custom. So if you just adjust for best performance, it's just going to give you that. And so it's going to blank them all out. Take note that this will make your operating system not look as pretty. As you can see when I move the window, it doesn't show the window within it, but it will make your operating system run faster. I do check show thumbnails instead of icons. I always keep that checked just because if I'm looking through photos or videos and stuff like that, I do want to see what I'm looking at, right? Okay, once we're all finished up with that part, what you're going to want to do is click Apply and then OK. And then from there, we're going to go to the Startup and Recovery, go to Settings, go ahead and change this time to display list of operating systems. Go ahead and change it to 10. You still want a window where you can see that. You know, when you boot up the computer, it'll let you choose an operating system if you have more than one. I'm going to go ahead and leave it at 10 seconds there. Okay. And then go to the remote tab, and then it says allow remote assistance connection. So this should be checked on by default. Go ahead and turn that off. And then it's going to ask you to restart your computer at this point. So for this next part, we're going to be turning off Windows transparency. So go ahead and right click your screen, go to personalize, and of course you can, you know, do whatever you want here. Sometimes people like to change colors, whatever. You're going to want to go to the colors tab, and then it's going to say transparency effects, I'm sorry for that. Go ahead and turn it to off. And that's going to do is it's going to take off the transparency from like your menu and stuff like that. Personally, I don't care for it. Alrighty, we're getting close to the end here. So the next step is going to be to go to your search bar, go ahead and left click it, and then go to the settings icon there. And then these are going to be your Cortana settings. So unfortunately, we can't turn Cortana all the way off. It would be nice to be able to do so, but Windows or Microsoft is completely insistent that you use it. So what we are going to do is turn it off as much as we can. So go to the Talk to Cortana tab, go ahead and click off, off, off. Right now Cortana is using English, whatever. Permissions and history, off, 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 off. Okay. Got phone notifications, no. Help me pick up where off, off. So go ahead and click that all off if you're not using Cortana, which I don't, and it'll still let you use it. Unfortunately, like I said, it'll just turn off some of the features for it. All right, and then this next part should help out a little bit as well. So go to your start menu, go to settings, go to gaming, go to the game bar tab, record game clips, screenshots, and broadcasts using game bar. Go ahead and click that off. Go to game DVR, record in the background while I'm playing a game. Go ahead and click that off. Recording audio off, and capture mouse cursor off. And then make sure True Play is off. That's like their little anti-cheat, I believe. And then from there, you should be all good and ready to go. So at this point, if you're not happy with your performance still, there is one more thing that you can do. But I do gotta warn you, it's not for the faint of heart. So what you can do is right click on your screen, go to your Nvidia control panel if you have one available to you. I am using an Nvidia card. If you don't, you know, there's other ways to do this. You'll just have to do a little searching. So from there, you'll go to change resolution, and then go down to something like maybe 720. Or if you're on a laptop, you could try 1024 by 768. I am not on a laptop, but it's what I'm gonna go with. And it's gonna make everything really blurry and big. You can change the size of everything by going to display settings, and then it's gonna set, you know, custom scale factor set, blah, blah, blah. Go to advanced scaling settings, and then set this number here, enter a custom scaling size between 100% and 500% to 100%, of course, since it's the lowest one you can. Then you click apply, and then you have to sign out and sign back in order to set it. So, or you can just restart, whichever or. So I'm not gonna click apply yet, but yeah, so that's the last thing you can do, and you'll be at a super low resolution, so it'll be taking up less system resources. And let me show you what that looks like here in a second. Okay, so here we are. And believe it or not, even with the equipment that I do have, this is typically how I keep my desktop, because I do try and squeeze out even, you know, the last 3 FPS that I can out of a game. So I will be going over that in future videos for you guys. All right, so that's gonna bring this video to an end. If this helped you optimize your computer for gaming, be sure to like, subscribe, because I will continue to make videos on things like getting better FPS out of games such as Fortnite, Nvidia settings, and input lag. That's a big one. So like I said, subscribe, stay tuned, and hopefully I get those to you guys soon.